Here we have an anterior view of the brain. What we're going to focus on is down in the brainstem right here, specifically this region, which is the medulla oblongata. Now, in the medulla oblongata, we're going to find a few different structures and start off with the most inferior portion of the brainstem. Pretty much, the spinal cord is what attaches the medulla oblongata. So our first structure is going to be called the pyramids. Now, this area right here would be the pyramids. What we're going to do is change models to show one that is a little bit larger of a brainstem model. Looking at this slightly different model, we can see a larger view of the pyramids right here on each side. Now, these pyramids are going to contain motor tracts running down from the brain, which means they're carrying motor impulses away from the brain down to the rest of the body. And right in the middle, this little zigzagging line here is going to symbolize decussation. Decussation is the crossing over of the neurons, the crossing over of information. So as the motor information travels down, for example, this right pyramid, it can travel through the decussation and come down the left side now. That decussation allows motor outputs from the right hemisphere of the brain to control the left side of the body, and from the left hemisphere of the brain to control the right side of the body. So again, decussation, and these are your pyramids. Switching back over to this model, the full brain model again, we're still seeing the medulla oblongata. But now I want to point out these structures, which in this case are colored green on this model. But those structures which are colored green are going to be the olives. Now the olives are going to be more of a sensory. So those pyramids with decussation was motor. The olives now are more of a sensory relay. So you can see on the lateral aspects, these are the olives. Now, depending on your model, odds are they're probably not colored green, but this particular model has them as a coloration of green. This view now is the posterior side of the brainstem. We're looking specifically in this region, which is going to be the medulla oblongata. Now, the structure we're trying to point out is this area right here. This is going to be your inferior cerebellar peduncle. So it's only one part. There's three different parts here. We're looking just at the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Now, the inferior cerebellar peduncle is connecting, allowing information to travel between medulla oblongata and the cerebellum. Switching up views now, you can see that this is the full brain, but we're down here right in the medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata will connect to the cerebellum, which is this structure right back here, via the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Now, you can't really see it very easily on this particular model, but it's symbolized by these lines that are running from the brainstem going back to the cerebellum. So the inferior cerebellar peduncle.